Today we are making our no-fail pie crust. And how do we do that? We take these 6 ingredients and we turn them into a delicious pie crust that you can use for whatever your favorite pie is. Apple pie, pumpkin pie, those are 2 of our favorites and we have great recipes for those. So let's jump in and I'll show you how to make a no-fail pie crust. We are starting with 5 cups of flour. And that is 600 grams if I'm not mistaken. And what we're going to do is add 2 ingredients to our flour. We're using 2 teaspoons of salt. We're using 2 teaspoons of baking powder. We'll give that a little stir. I just do this in one bowl with my fork, I call this my pastry fork. Next ingredient that I get a lot of questions about is the lard. We are going to cut this lard into our flour mixture. This is 1 pound of pure lard. People always ask me, what can you use as a substitute? If you don't eat lard, you can't eat lard. You can use shortening. It will still work. It will still be very good. So you can give that a try if you can't have lard. But this is definitely a better option. This might seem like a lot. This is 1 pound of lard and we're going to cut that into our flour mixture. Now, you have to keep in mind, this is not for one pie. If you see those old cookbooks, it's great to pick those up because they have those tried and true recipes, and this is definitely one of them. I'm just working this lard in to get a fine, crumbly texture. This dough could yield you up to 4 pies. That's a top and a bottom for your pie. The original recipe said it's good for 5, but I make my crust a little bit thicker, I think. So it really depends on how thick you want your crust and how big your pie shell is. So if you're making smaller pies, you'll have more dough to make more crust. So this is not just for one pie. I know 1 pound of lard might seem like a lot and 5 cups of flour, but you can keep this in the fridge for a week. You can freeze it. I make it into a ball and then freeze it if I have extra. When I made a short video of this, a lot of people had questions. What I'm going to do now is take 1 egg, and I'm gonna pop that in here. Cracked 1 egg into my 1 cup measure. And I'm going to take ice water and fill it up. I have my 1 egg cracked into my 1 cup measurement. I'm going to take my vinegar, 1 tablespoon of vinegar, carefully pouring. Take my vinegar and pour it in with my egg. Then I'm going to mix that up. I'll give that a mix. Once I've mixed that up, I'm going to take my ice water that I've had chilling in the freezer for an hour and pour that all the way to the top. And now I'm going to combine that with my flour mixture. I'm just going to slowly mix this together until my dough starts to form. If you need a little extra flour while you're on this process or while you're on this step, that's fine. Once I've mixed my dough, just a little bit, I'm going to put it on my lightly floured surface. I'm going to roll my disc of dough out on my lightly floured surface here. I just put a little flour on my rolling pin as well. And I kind of keep turning it as I roll. It doesn't stick too much to my counter. Adding a little flour if I need to. Trying to make it in that circular shape. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm just going to use an offset spatula to kind of fold this. You could fold it back over your rolling pin. I kind of just roll it to the center, or fold it, I guess the word would be. Fold it to the center and then lift it into my pie shell and then fold it over again. There we go. Now if you want a thicker crust, you can fold that back over onto itself. And what I usually do is I just do thumbprints around the outside. And there you go. So here are our 2 delicious pie shells. Now I'm making these for pumpkin pie today. I still have a bit of dough left, so that will make at least 2 more, if not 3 more pies. But I made these quite thick today. So if you like your pies a little thinner, you'll have lots of dough to make 3, maybe 4 even more pies. I don't need to blind bake these for my pumpkin pie, but that's what recipe's coming up next. So make sure you check that out. And you can use these for any pie that you want. So happy pie baking.